quieten down now, everybody. You witnessed this sort of thing before? Masterson?
Yeah.
You look kind of jumpy.
I thought we were going to do this alone. What are all these people doing here?
On occasions like this, the whole town turns out. It's the only excitement they get.
I suppose they're just curious to know who's going to win.
They always are.
What are you waiting for? Go ahead and draw her.
Okay, Masterson. You heard draw.
Right. The winning ticket is number 32.
Pink.
That was an excerpt from Raffles. Another of the books we recommend you to read, especially during the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those who can't read, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are the Reverend Geronimo Phillips, Dukesley of White Fang, Roger Thackeray Fanshawe and his educated budgerigars, Dame Edith Hotpot.
She's a nice dish.
To continue, Admiral of the Fleet Bert Scroop, Nurse Jasmine Lumley, and, of course, Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening. Well, I expect you're all wondering how I am. So let's look at the script and I'll be able to tell you. Oh, good gracious, it says I'm terribly. Terribly? Terribly what? Do wish that secretary would finish my sentences. Magistrates always do. And just listen to this mistyping. Apparently, as I was coming into the bureau this morning, a finny thong happened. A man said to me, "Are you Kenneth Horne?" And I said, "Yos," and he said, "Well, I think you're a 1/3% exclamation mark." Honestly, she must have typed this script in boxing glaives. Well, that's gone down well with the taut-hand typists. Of course, the secretary I'm referring to is just pure fiction and mustn't be confused with our producer's secretary, who is just pure. And mustn't be confused. However, I've had an eventful week as usual. On Monday, I gave a young lady a lift in my car. We'd only got about half a mile when I ran into a tree. She smiled sweetly, turned to me and said,
"Wouldn't it have been simpler just to run out of petrol?"
On Tuesday, I'd sent my shotgun to be repaired, so I just spent the day rather aimlessly at home. On Thursday, I decided to go to the pictures. I wanted to see a new film about a prisoner of war camp. Just a bit of escapism, I suppose. So I joined the queue at one of London's West End cinemas.
Right, I can do 2 doubles at 25 shillings and 1 single at 18 bob.
I say, Commissioner, what about us on this side?
Well, frankly, I don't hold out much hope of your getting into this cinema today.
Oh, why not?
You're standing in a bus queue.
Oh. Well, where are the 2 and 9?
2 and 9s? This isn't a local flea pit, you know. It's an elegant West End flea pit. Cheapest seats are 5 shillings and they're full up. Now, what about this one at 18 bob?
18 shillings for a cinema seat? It's sheer robbery.
No, sir, foam rubber. Last word in luxury. Comfortable? Why, it's like sitting on Bridget Bardot's lap.
No, it's too much money. I'll wait for a 5-shilling seat.
You'll find it a bit parky out here. We always get a nasty cold wind on this corner. It comes sweeping across from the ice cream parlour.
Oh, well, in that case, can I wait inside?
You wait inside?
Yes.
I'm afraid not, sir. If I let you do that, the fat would be in the foyer. Besides, the big picture's about to commence.
Well, I'm not going to pay 18 shillings. It's too expensive.
I'll tell you what I'll do, sir. Give us your 5 bob.
All right, here you are.
Right. Now, just sit down on this camp stool, and I'll tell you all about the film. Put you in the picture, as you might say. Yeah, quite comfortable, sir?
Yes, thank you. Oh, just a minute. Excuse me, madam. Would you mind removing your hat? Thank you. That's better. Right, Commissioner, off you go.
Well, sir, first of all, a bloke comes out and bashes a gong, and then there's a piece of very dramatic music.
The
Wooden called its escape from Stalag 15 story. RN.
Well, now then, chaps. As senior British officer here, I think it's about time we organised an escape committee. Trouble is, there's been no coordination. So many tunnels have been dug in the last 6 months, the whole camp has collapsed twice. And look what happened last week in your hut, Beauregard.
I know, sir. I must admit that there was an embarrassing slip-up. The plan was sound enough, but somehow the chaps got left behind and 3 dummies escaped. Still, 2 of them got through, but one fell into the hands of Peter Brough.
How ghastly. How about you, Clark? Fancy thinking you could walk through the main gate disguised as Adolf Hitler.
Well, sir, it nearly worked. It was me plimsolls gave it away.
Bad luck, Nobby.
Colonel Plumpton, if you ask me, the Germans know of our schemes in advance. There's an informer in the camp.
Yes, and I've got a pretty good idea who it is.
Well, don't look at me.
No, sir, but I mean that Major Trumpington, Hut C. There's something fishy about him. Have you ever seen him drinking tea?
No. No, why?
He doesn't crook his little finger.
No.
There's a piece of damning evidence for you, Colonel.
Look, sir, through the window. There he is now, standing in a flower bed.
Well, I suppose the Germans could have planted him. Get him in here, Clark, and we'll soon find out.
What are you going to do, sir?
Leave this to me, Beauregard. I'll soon put him to the test. This needs a subtle approach. Ah, there you are, Trumpington. We're just having some grub. Would you care to join us?
Thank you, sir.
Now, which would you prefer, crumpets or sauerkraut?
Crumpets every time, sir.
He seems sound enough. Now, Trumpington, how are you settling in here?
Well, sir, with all these crude wooden huts, the barbed wire, the machine gun posts, well, it's not quite the same as Harrogate, is it, sir? And of course, I need hardly say there's one thing I miss terribly.
Oh, what's that?
First-class cricket. Colonel, you're crying. I'm sorry, sir. It was rather thoughtless of me to mention the old game.
I'm sorry, it's just that it's been so long since I've seen a game. How it all comes back, the excitement of a scrum, the line-outs, the thrill of a touchdown.
It has been a long time, hasn't it? I hardly like to say it, sir, but that's rugby.
Good man, Trumpington. I was testing you, and you've come through with flying colours. Well, Beauregard?
Oh, yes, sir. He's as British as corned beef.
Look here, this is... I don't like it.
Here, look, everybody, see what I've got.
Nobby, a radio. Where did you get it?
From one of the guards. I swapped it for an autographed photo of Vera Lynn.
Very well. Now, perhaps we can get some news from home. Switch it on.
American soldier in the blackout. That is the end of the news. Now it's time for Force's favourites. And here first, for Colonel Plumpton and the boys in Stalag 15, is your very own sweetheart of song.
Good heavens, it must be.
Yes, it's Pat Lancaster.
Three little words, 8 little letters, which simply mean I love you.
Jolly nice. I wish Pat Lancaster were here now.
So do I. Good night.
Quick, sir. Hide the radio. There's someone coming.
Good heavens, it's Mussolini.
No, it's me, Nobby.
Oh, Clark, when will you learn? Mussolini doesn't wear plimsolls either.
Oh, well, sir, I'll just have to try something else.
Mad keen to escape his Nobby, but then aren't we all?
Well, quite true, Beauregard. Now, do you chaps realise it'll be spring now in England? And near my home, the little yellow crocuses will be peeping through. The trees will be heavy with fragrant pink and white blossoms, and the air will be filled with the magic perfumes of spring.
Where do you live, sir?
Liverpool.
You know, sir, I was just thinking, when all this is over and our story can be told, I'd like Alec Guinness to play me.
Achtung! There you are, Colonel Plumpton. I wish to have a word with you.
Oh, congratulations, Nobby.
Nobby? What is this Nobby? I'm the German commandant.
Of course you are, Nobby, to the knife.
What are you talking about?
And the voice, too, it's perfect.
He's more like a German commandant than the German commandant.
Ich singe aber heilig, paramische die Dichterei, der Danzig am Edelabend. Es hier wartet, Achtung, Achtung, Achtung!
Sir?
Yes, Marianne?
I don't think it is Nobby.
Enough! Your insults will get you nowhere. Colonel, may I remind you that your numerous attempts to escape are futile? Did you really think I would fail to notice 2,000 prisoners floating skywards in a homemade balloon? You must think the Germans are stupid fools.
What happened to them?
They escaped. Silence! It won't happen again. Tell me, Colonel, why are you so anxious to get away from this camp? Aren't you happy here?
Well, it's our duty to escape. It's just such a challenge that brings out the best in us. When all seems lost, the Englishman will somehow find a way out.
That's why Hampton Court Maze is so popular.
You English and your traditions?
We are very proud of our traditions. The House of Parliament, the law courts, a crazy gang.
I will never understand the British. By the way, Colonel, there's a new prisoner for you. Guards! Halt!
Hello, all.
Good gracious, sir, a woman.
My Joe.
Nobby, you've gone too far this time.
Nobby, my name's Phyllis Fairweather. I was captured with Ensa. Well, am I staying here? Ooh, whatever am I going to do alone in a hut full of big, strong men?
Sort that one out.
He's right, sir. It is going to be a problem.
Never mind, Beauregard. It's a problem we just have to wrestle with. Trumpington, put her down.
Well, I think I'm going to like it here.
Well, now, look here, Miss Fairweather. What exactly did you do with Ensa?
Entertain the troops, of course. You see, I played and I sang. I'll give you a sample now, only they've confiscated me concertina.
Well, it's just as well with Trumpington around.
I was very popular, you know. They called me the squeeze box of the forces. They loved me in the desert. My little act might not have been West End, but it gave the boys a chance to escape from it all.
I say, sir, she's given me an idea. If she was to give a concert in the recreation hut where the tunnel starts, we could get all the chaps there and organise a mass escape.
Well, sounds a good idea.
It'll never work,
Why
sir.
not?
You know what it's like to get the blokes to see an Ensa show.
Here, wait a minute. Do you mean to say I've got to sing my head off while the audience disappears down a hole?
Yes, that's right. And Miss Fairweather, if you'll do it, when we get back to England, I'll see to it personally that you're made a dame.
Oh, lovely. I've always wanted to do pantomime.
Good. Well, that's the plan, chaps. Once outside the camp, make a dash for it. If all goes well, this will be the one show that will have a very long run. All right, chaps. All right, as soon as the concert starts, proceed in an orderly fashion through that dirty great hole in the floor. Miss Fairweather, you're on.
Well, boys, I'd like to start my little offering with you in a little number dedicated to you. And good luck, Tommy Atkins. Britain depends on you. Thumbs up, Tommy Atkins. Grey skies will soon be blue. Air main swank up in the sky. I must be frank, I prefer the PBI. Oh, good luck, Tommy Atkins. Tommy will see you through. Now all together, boys. Good luck, Tommy Atkins. Atkins.
All right, Phyllis. All right, Phyllis, don't bother. They've all gone. Into the... Quick, Phyllis, into the tunnel, quick. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit.
Well, so we must be a good 3 miles away now.
Yes, but we must still be careful. Keep a sharp lookout.
Colonel,
Yes, Trumpington?
are we anywhere near Japan?
Japan? I don't think so. Why do you ask?
Oh, nothing, sir. I just thought Yes, look, there he is, coming over the hill.
Good heavens! It's Hirohito!
Get him, chaps! Get him!
Got him!
Get him!
Into the river with him.
No! It's me, Nobby! Look at me pencils! No, it's me! Nobby, no, wait! Back it up!
And now it's time to listen to Bingo, which this week is sung by Nobby Clark, disguised as the Fraser Hayes Four.
There was an old dog and he lived at the mill, and Bingo was his name, sir. B-I-N-G-O. Banger and bopper and kicker and copper, and Bingo was his name, sir. You say banger and I'll say bopper, and you say kicker and I'll say copper. Banger and bopper and kicker and copper, and Bingo, Stingo, Ringo, Jingo. Say it is by Jingo.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And tonight we present a close-up on television.
Will it ever replace entertainment? Well, now first let's ask one or two people for their views. You, sir, what do you think of television?
Well, I think it's wonderful. If you close your eyes, it's just like radio.
Yes, I never thought of that, really. Now, here's a lady. Do you watch television, madam?
No, but my little nephew's very keen on it. It's ideal for him. You see, he's old enough to stay up for the late-night programs, but still young enough to enjoy them.
Yes. Well, now you, sir, what do you like most about television?
Oh, the sport every time. I watch every football match that's televised.
Do you? Yes. Haven't you ever actually been to a game?
Well, as a matter of fact, only last week I went to my very first football match. I was surprised.
Well, how do you mean?
Do you know, I was amazed.
Why?
It's all in colour.
Well, those are just a few opinions from viewers, which seems to prove the old saying, it's better to give than to receive. Anyway, let's turn our attention now to those who provide television entertainment, the famous personalities who appear night after night and whose unperturbed faces show nothing of the stress and strain that goes on behind the scenes. Listen to one such personality as he talks to a close friend.
Hello, Rodney.
Hello, Charles. It's so good of you to let me come to the studio and watch you televise. It must be pretty nerve-wracking.
Sheer agony. Weeks of rehearsal, a constant struggle to remember one's lines, and that terrible fear that the public aren't going to like one.
Oh, nonsense. You know you're as popular now as you ever were.
Yes, but how long can it last? People are very fickle, you know. One's only as good as one's script.
Oh, don't worry, Charles. I know you'll sometimes have pretty impossible things to say, but your personality always manages to shine through.
Stand by, studio. 10 seconds to go. This is the moment I dread. I get so nervous. How do I look, Rodney?
Immaculate. Good luck, Chas.
Thanks, Rodders. Stand by. Stand by, sir. You're on. Good evening. Well, there's been rain again in most areas today. And
Well, now that television has broadened its scope to include advertising, the magazine program selling various products is fast becoming as popular as the more serious offerings of the drama department. In fact, it's possible that soon we shall get the two combined.
Television Warehouse presents Forbidden Love. Get some today.
Darling Reggie.
Darling Caroline. This is madness, darling. You sure your husband won't hear us?
Quite sure, Reggie. He's asleep. The deep, satisfying sleep that comes only with relaxo. Oh, don't worry, darling. Come over here and sit beside me on the couch.
Oh, it's a multi-spring rest-you-well, comfy, cozy, dual-purpose section sofa.
My dear, I wouldn't be without it. Oh, Reggie, it seems a lifetime since...
What was that?
Nothing, my sweet.
Sorry. These illicit meetings put me on edge.
You need a tonic. Try Pinolin. It works wonders.
And kiddies love it. Oh, Caroline, come closer.
Oh, Reggie.
So, this is what's been going on behind my back. You prefer Reggie Carpenter to me.
Well, look at his hair. It's so well kept and lustrous.
Yes, I use multi-gleam.
Thanks for the tip. Well, Reggie, this is the end of the line.
John, where did you get that gun?
It was a free gift and a packet of oats. The Wonder cereal. It goes snap, click.
Look what you've done, John. The man I love lying there on the carpet in a pool of blood.
Never mind. Zippo will remove the stain.
Well, opinions will always vary as to the most popular television shows, but high on the list must always be those fascinating programs about animals, like Zoo Quest and On Safari. Now, these are actually filmed in the wilds by great naturalists such as Armand and Michaela Dennis. We thought you'd like to meet them at work, so we sent our own commentator, Cecil Snaith, on safari.
I'm speaking to you now from the heart of the African jungle. I'm actually standing beneath the giant kookaburra tree which towers above me, its rich green foliage practically blotting out the sun. Here in this tiny forest clearing, the television cameras are set up ready to capture all the strange sights and sounds of this savage wilderness. In a moment, you'll be meeting one of the world-famous couple who risk so much to bring you a glimpse of the unknown and unexplored African jungle. Ah, here comes someone now. Yes, it's Michaela Dennis, wearing a lovely leopard skin. Oh. And this is Cecil Snaith from the top of the giant kookaburra tree, returning you to the studio.
Thank you, our top commentator, Cecil Snaith. Well, finally, let's consider the effect television has on our everyday lives. Is it really habit-forming? Do we allow ourselves to be governed by it? Well, take the case of Mr. and Mrs. Stipley of 14 Clissold Avenue, Neasden.
Felicity?
Yes, Ambrose.
It's about time we got out of this terrible rut. When did we last go out for the evening?
1947.
Oh, it's disgraceful, Felicity. Here we sit night after night, staring into a corner of the room like two hypnotized dummies, and the washing up never gets done. You're too lazy to go out and get the coal. We don't say a word to each other until it's time for bed.
But Ambrose, it's not so very extraordinary. Thousands of other families do the same thing.
Yes, but they've got television sets.
Mrs. Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought. Does a fish shop proprietor ever have a chip on his shoulder? Good night.
You have either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Patricia Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra conducted by Paul Federley. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman and Barry Took. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jake Sprague.
Quiet, guards.
Quiet, I say!
Behaving like a lot of hooligans. I will have discipline in my school. You all know the penalty for disobedience. A good thrashing. Now, pay attention while I call the roll. Wilberforce?
Present, sir.
Prendergast?
Present, sir.
Charterhouse?
Present, you great big fat bully.
Charterhouse, are you tired of life?
Come out here, boy!
I am going to give you something you'll long remember. 10 of the best. Bend down.
No, I won't. We've had enough of being whacked by you all the time. Haven't we, chaps?
Yeah, we have.
Silence! Quiet, I say! Get him! Put
That was an excerpt from the Caine Mutiny. Another of the books we recommend you to read, especially during the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those who can't read, here is a sort of radio show which is Beyond Our Ken. Among those taking part are Miranda Figgins, parking attendant Arthur Fitchley Struve Whittington, the House of Commons Marimba Octet, Nosbert Hake, Matilda Merchandise.
Oh, she's a nice bit of goods.
To continue, Fred Van Gogh, and of course Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening, and first of all, which obviously means I'm reading the whole thing upside down. Yes, I am. That's better. Now, let's see what I did last week. Oh, yes, on Monday I spent the day in the local magistrate's court listening to some of the cases. There was one chap there who'd been arrested for kissing a strange girl in the middle of Piccadilly Circus. A foolish thing to do, and as the magistrate said...
In future, you want to use a bit of common.
On Wednesday, I went down to Frome in Somerset to find out why everyone pronounces it Froome. Dead loss, so I returned whom. Thursday was the day I really enjoyed. I'd been asked to judge a beauty contest at Theden Boys. There was a dazzling array of femininity, and it was very hard to choose between them. The first girl winked at me, the second girl smiled at me, the third girl blew me a kiss, and the winner was number 10. Well... Saturday I spent at home as usual, and as the radio had broken down, I was forced to watch television. Oh, thank goodness that's over.
Here's your coffee, sir. What have you been watching?
Unadulterated rubbish.
Oh, that's a new one. Who's in it?
Oh, Prudence, look. The programme is called Clint Jason of the FBI.
Oh, that's one of my favourites. It's almost as good as San Francisco Patrol. You know, with that lovely Broderick Beatty. Oh, Margie, what a hunk of a man he is. Those big, strong shoulders, that granite jaw, his hat pulled right down over his eyes, and that stealthy panther-like walk. Puts me in mind of the vicar.
Well, I'm fed up with these modern crime serials. They're not half as exciting as those rattling good adventure yarns that we used to read when I was younger. They had real heroes then, like Tiger Standish and Bulldog Drummond.
Never heard of them, sir. What was they like?
Well, for a start, they were British to the core. Retired army captains, mostly, living in big country houses with a manservant who was formerly their batman, you know. I remember one in particular, a fellow of the same breed as Bulldog Drummond, Captain Poodle Fawcett.
Oh, what happened to him,
Oh,
sir?
everything, Prudence, everything.
Well, go on, sir. I can see you're just dying to tell me the story.
Yes, if you insist. Well, this one was called The Jade Buddha, and the story started, as they all did, with a telephone call.
Captain Poodle Fawcett's residence? Oh, very good, sir. Hold the line. It's for you, Captain. Superintendent Latham of Scotland Yard.
Oh, yes. Oh, hello, Podgy, my old chum.
Hello, Poodle. Listen, we're in a jam. It's a rather sticky business. You know, you're the only man that can help us.
Oh, what's afoot?
12 inches. Now, look here, to business. I can't tell you about it on the phone. One never knows who may be listening.
Well, of all the souls.
You see, we must be careful. All I can say is that it concerns the Jade Buddha.
The what?
The Jade Buddha. Get off the Poodle, do you know the 39 steps?
No.
Then listen to Victor Sylvester.
Algy, quick, turn the radio on.
Dancing Club. And this week we're going to do the quick step. Ready? And slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, side together, quick, quick, slow. Psst, Captain Fawcett, I have a message for you. Quick, quick, slow. Go to the Green Cockatoo. Slow, slow, in Beak Street. Slow, slow, right away. Quick, quick, quick.
So, that's it, Captain.
Yes, I never thought I'd get the message from Victor Sylvester. All right, Algy, throw a few things into a bag and clean my old service revolver. We've got a job to do. Well, the Green Cockatoo turned out to be a wool shop. But underneath, in a dingy little cellar, was a sleazy nightclub called the Incorporated Hosiery and Ankle Sock Retail Association. Algy and I shouldered our way into the smoke-filled room.
A table for two gentlemen. Follow me. Here we are. Just by this hole in the carpet. You can see the floor show. We have a wonderful torch singer whose batteries have just been recharged. Here she comes now.
Good heavens, it's Pat Lancaster. Pat, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I just followed the script and here I am.
Well, never mind. Sing, Pat.
Once I was young, yesterday perhaps, danced with Jim and Paul and kissed some other chaps. Once I was young, but never was naive. I'm yours, and I know what time it is now.
Jolly nice, Pat.
Here, take this packet. I was told to give it to you by a swarthy Portuguese saxophone player.
A who?
A Portuguese saxophone player.
Oh, yes.
I must go. They're watching.
Oh, now let's see what's in it.
Lummy, Captain. It's a ration fish.
Probably just a red herring. No, wait a minute. There's something inside the fish. Look, there's a piece of jade.
I thought it was a bit green round the gills. Hey, the label on the wrapping paper. See what it says.
What's this? Angus McNabb, wet fishmonger, Aberdeen. Ah, it's all becoming much clearer now. Podgy Latham is a master of disguise. That must have been him.
You mean the Portuguese saxophone player?
No, Pat Lancaster. Angus McNabb, wet fishmonger, Aberdeen. I've got it. Come on, Algy. We've got a train to catch.
Where to, sir?
Istanbul. Sitting opposite in the compartment was a woman. At first she said nothing, then suddenly her hand went into her handbag and she produced a pearl-handled revolver. She fixed me with her eyes and said,
Do you mind if we have the window open?
Oh, certainly not. No, there you are.
That is better, Captain Fawcett. Yes, we know who you are. There is nothing that the Crooked Circle does not know. Now, hand over the jade Buddha, or I shall use this gun.
Drop that gun!
Yeah!
Ah, you didn't see me hiding under the seat, did you?
Well done, Algy.
Drop that gun!
Stay where you are. You didn't see me hiding on the luggage rack, did you?
Well done, Boris!
Stay where you are. You didn't see me hiding in the suitcase, did you?
Well done, Pudgy Latham.
We're going into a tunnel!
Quick, the lights!
Pudgy, Algy, quick, into the corridor! We hadn't noticed it was a non-corridor train. So Podgy, Algy and I caught the next train, and in a few days we arrived in Istanbul.
We must be careful, Poodle. This place is a whirlpool of intrigue.
Your drinks, gentlemen? 3 cups of tea?
Thank you. Oh, tell me, Podgy, what is the Crooked Circle?
It's an international ring of thieves and murderers controlled by one man, a man who calls himself the Spider. But only I know his true identity. I and one other.
Who's that?
Him. His real name is... the tea. The tea.
What is it?
No sugar. Ah, that was a close call. As I was saying, the real name of the Spider...
Shh, Podgy, be quiet. There's someone coming across the table.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Fu Chang Hui. From the honorable family of Wong, I have something to show you of great interest through these beady curtains.
Lummy, it's the Buddha.
That is correct. The fabulous jade Buddha that once belonged to the East Glinstead Conservative Club. Come, gentlemen, take a glass of nice wine with me.
Oh, that's a decent wine. Certainly will.
Well, bottoms up. Ha ha ha. Little did they know their drinks had been glugged.
Well, when we came to, it was obvious what had happened. Our drinks had been glugged. We found ourselves in a tiny little room.
Poodles, look, the ceiling. It's coming down.
How are we going to get out?
3 days later, we were in Morocco. We felt we were entitled to a holiday.
Here, Captain, can I ask you something?
Yes, what is it, Algy?
Well, you remember when we was in that room with the ceiling coming down?
Yes?
How did we get out?
Oh, that. Well, you see, it wasn't only the ceiling that was descending, it was the floor as well.
What do you mean, sir?
We were in a lift.
Oh, thanks, Captain.
Not at all.
It's been worrying me for days. By the way, where's Superintendent Latham?
Oh, he had to dash back to England.
Why?
He suddenly remembered he'd left the kettle on, I think. Hello?
Are you Morocco 1212?
Yes?
I have a long-distance call for you. You're through.
Hello, Fawcett. This is Angus McNabb.
It's Angus McNabb.
Lummy, Captain, the plot thickens.
Yes, it is pretty thickening, isn't it? Hello, yes, McNabb?
Yes, Fawcett. I have reason to believe but someone is trying to get rid of me.
Oh? What makes you think that?
Well, it's nothing definite, mind. It's just a feeling I have.
It's a shocking line.
Don't blame me, I didn't write it. And what's more, Fawcett, I know who the spider is. His name is...
Your time is up, caller. Do you wish to pay for further time?
No, I don't think I'll bother.
Well, Algy, we've got to reason this thing out. Who is the spider?
Baffling, any captain.
Something tells me that the answer lies back home in England. Thank you, Percy Edwards. Algy, I've got it.
What's that?
That dog, it's given me a lead. I think I now know the true identity of the spider.
Really, Captain? Who is it then?
Lord Cyril Ruskin.
Huh?
Lord Ruskin will be with you in a moment. Just wait here in the study.
Nice place he's got here, Captain. Look at them oak panel walls.
Stand back, Algy. One of them is sliding open. This will be our man.
So, Captain Fawcett, we meet at last. I am Cyril Ruskin, alias the Spider.
Ruskin, do you always come through secret panels?
Certainly not. Only when they're open.
Well, the game's up.
Not so fast, Fawcett. You are looking down the barrel of a service revolver fitted with a silencer.
Yeah. Sounds as if you could do with one, too. All right, we know when we're beaten, but just for the record, what is the secret of the Jade Buddha?
Simple. Inside, there is a secret compartment which contains a message of great importance, the contents of which will have a far-reaching effect. But now, your fate is sealed.
Hold everything! Ruskin, drop that gun!
Olga, I thought you were one of them.
I am not Olga. I am Superintendent Latham, Special Branch.
Podgy.
Yes, well, Poodle, the case of the Jade Buddha is closed. As for you, Ruskin, you may be an international thief and murderer, but I'm letting you go free.
Scot free? Thanks.
Just a minute, Podgy. What are you doing? You know very well that in this country you can't get away with murder.
Oh, no? What do you think we've been doing for the last 20 minutes?
And for those attentive listeners who are still wondering about the secret message concealed in the Buddha, it was a copy of Early One Morning, which will now be decoded by a group of international song peddlers known to Interpol as the Fraser Hayes Four.
Early one morning, just as the sun was rising, I heard a maiden sing in the valley below. How could you use a poor maiden so? How could you use a poor maiden so?
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And tonight we present a close-up on timber. Is the future clear?
Or can't we see the wood for the trees? Now, what of the men who spend their life working in the great forests? Those burly, broad-shouldered giants who, bare to the waist, toil ceaselessly in the logging camps. The lumberjacks.
Hello, Rodney.
Hello, Charles. Well, it's my turn to strike timber.
No, it's not. It's mine.
Whose axe is it?
But you shouted timber last time.
Oh, dear, must we always be at loggerheads?
It's you. You, Rodders. Your whole attitude has changed towards me. It's a case of blow, you lumberjack, I'm all right.
Oh, thank goodness, knocking off time. Where are you going tonight?
I'm going to the barbecue.
Yes, you could do with a haircut. I think I'll go to the camp cinema, see a nice film, get away from it all for a bit.
Good idea. What are they showing?
The Petrified Forest.
Ah, dear, we're bringing out some chestnuts tonight, aren't we? However, to continue our survey, whenever we talk of timber, we automatically think of Canada with its vast, sweeping forests of tall pine trees. The scenery is absolutely breathtaking. And so we sent our own commentator, Cecil Snaith, to give you a bird's-eye view.
Well, I'm sitting now in the topmost branches of an enormous pine tree. As far as the eye can see, there's a vista of matchless beauty which really takes one's breath away. This whole forest which I'm looking down on is a veritable kaleidoscope of colours. From here I can see the gay greens, reds and yellows of the lumberjacks' shirts as they move among the trees. The air is filled with the ring of axes.
I say, you two down there. Not this one. Can't you hear me? I said, not this one. No. No!
Oh. I've been lumbered.
And thank you, Cecil Snaith. Well, we all know that after felling, the tree goes through many processes before the wood eventually arrives at the timber yard. Let's now speak to a well-known timber merchant.
How do you do? My name's Woodhead.
Yes, I thought it might be.
Everybody here calls me Timber Bonds. Especially my mate, Ginger Thompson.
Ginger Thompson?
Yeah, it infuriates me.
All right. Yeah. Well, now, what exactly is your job?
Well, you see, when the wood comes in, it's all green and raw, and we treat it with special preservative to make it last.
I see. So now, can I have a word with your mate?
No, I'm afraid you can't.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Ginger called me Timber Bonds once too often, and I pushed him in a tank.
And?
Preserved ginger.
Finally, let us consider the many uses of wood. Well, they are, of course, limitless. Ship's furniture, houses, boats, ship's furniture, ventriloquist dummies, all sorts. But don't let us forget the home handyman, the do-it-yourself expert who can turn a few planks of wood into something of use and beauty.
Felicity,
Yes, Ambrose?
the new garden shed is nearly finished. Where are me nails?
On the ends of your fingers?
Oh, you silly old faggot. I mean me carpentry nails. Where can they have gone? I had a mouthful of them before you bought me that cup of tea.
You, Ambrose, and your woodwork. I wish you'd stop fretting so much.
Felicity,
Yes, Ambrose?
put your thumb down here a minute.
All right, dear. Oh!
Yes, now, stop making silly remarks. Come on now, come on, pass me the glue pot. Yeah, it's finished. Well, what do you think of it?
Oh, it's lovely, Ambrose. What a beautiful big garden shed. Oh, but Ambrose,
Yes, Felicity.
should you have built it in the dining room?
This is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought. Does a fisherman make a net profit? Good night.
You have either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne And also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Patricia Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra conducted by Paul Fennelly. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman and Barry Took. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jakes Brown.
Hooting, Bert. They're just not moving.
I don't know. This road gets worse every year.
We've been here 20 minutes. What's the hold-up?
I'll find out. Oh, you in front. What's going on?
How on earth should I know? I'll ask that lorry driver in front of me. I say, lorry driver.
What is it, mate?
Why have we been here so long?
I haven't the faintest. Hang on a jiffy. I'll just make some inquiries. Excuse me, madam. Do you know what's happening up ahead?
No, dearie.
Well, ask the old boy in front.
Oh, good idea. I'll attract his attention.
You rang, madam?
Yes. What's the hold-up?
I've no idea. I say, young man, what seems to be the trouble?
Well, can't you see for yourself? The traffic lights have jammed.
That was an excerpt from Forever Amber. Another of the books we recommend you to read, especially during the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those who can't read, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are Jeremiah Landimore, Lady Amelia Woking Fitzmolton, Fire Eater, Samantha Parkins, the House of Commons Gypsy Serenaders, Ellery Chingford, Mrs. Edith Swiveltop.
She's got her head screwed on the right way.
To continue, Arthur Lumley Rembrandt, Toastmaster Bert Grudge, and of course Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Beyond Our Ken, the show where the studio audience is always alert, intelligent, and extremely responsive. For my second joke, you nearly killed that one, didn't you? I was going to tell you about Diana Dawes' new low-cut evening gown, but the producer wouldn't wear it. So instead, let me tell you some of the things that happened to me last week. On Monday evening, I was engaged in a very hush-hush job. I was babysitting. And on Thursday, well, I needed a change. So I popped down to Brighton for a couple of days, and the hotel I stayed at was quite fun. In fact, the guidebook not only gave it 3 stars, but 2 exclamation marks. One evening in the cocktail bar, I spotted a glamorous young debutante surrounded by a host of admiring young men, and she seemed to be arranging her evening. Apparently, she was having drinks with Reggie at 7-ish, dining with Peter at 8:30, and dancing with Hilary at 9-ish. And when that was all settled, she surveyed the company and said,
Anyone for 10-ish?
Obviously, the Brighton Belle. However, I came back to town on Thursday to attend a dinner given by the Vegetarian Society, where I was introduced to some very charming people, which rather surprised me, really, because I always thought vegetarians were not very nice to meet. On Friday, I spent the morning gardening, digging, weeding, planting, and laying some crazy paving. My hattie was tiring, but by 11 o'clock, the window box looked a picture. And I felt I'd earned a cup of coffee. Prudence, Prudence, where's the coffee?
In the tin-marked flower, sir.
No, I mean my coffee. It's 11 o'clock.
You'll have to wait, sir. I've only got 1 pair of hands, and they're holding a magazine.
Ah, dear, I might have guessed. Friday is publication day of True Film Star Confessions. I suppose she's reading that. Prudence, what on earth are you doing in the refrigerator?
Oh, sir, there are some hot stories in this week's issue.
Well, come out, you'll melt all the ice cubes, honestly. Well, now, whose autographed photo did you get free this week?
Jack Oakey's. Oh, yes, I've got quite a collection now. In fact, the only one I haven't got is the picture of Anna Neagle as Queen Victoria knighting Frankie Vaughan.
Oh, Prudence, you and your films. I can't understand it.
Oh, dear, sir. You're not a cinema lover, are you?
Well, no, I'm not. Not since that time the usherette flashed that torch along the... Oh, yes. Yes, I see what you mean. Memories of Laura LaPlante. Well, now tell me, Prudence, is this film magazine of yours really interesting?
Oh, yes, sir. It's full of inside information.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all the gossip from the studios. Yes, sir. What about Rock Fanshawe? He went and married one of his former wives by mistake. He never would have found out either if it hadn't been for one thing.
Oh, what was that?
He recognised his mother-in-law. Oh, sir. Oh, me illusions are shattered.
Whatever is it, Prudence?
Oh, it's this article revealing the true facts about Clark Gable. Oh, to think that all these years the picture-goers have been misled.
Yeah, but how?
Well, his ears, sir.
What about them?
They're not his own.
Oh. What rubbish. Fancy reading trashy magazines like that. Prudence, go and make the coffee.
Oh, all right. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to read the magazine. And by the way, listeners, if you're interested in the tune I'm humming, it's called How to Get from the Kitchen to the Lounge in Sound Radio. Ah, now, here's my favourite chair. Now let's have a look at some more gossip about the film world. What's this?
Jack Hawkins has been asked to do the brothers Karamazov.
The brothers Karamazov have been asked to do Jack Hawkins.
Well, that's enough of that. I think I'll just turn over the page. What other features does this magazine run? Horoscopes. Horoscopes. Oh, fancy. Look, Dracula's a Sagittarius. Would you believe it? Beauty hints. Oh, this looks interesting. Music notes by our guest columnist. And good heavens, it's Pat Lancaster.
Dear readers, in answer to your inquiries, the haunting song from the film The Ghost of Flask Walk was A Lady Loves. You asked for the words and music, so here they are. A lady loves that average guy who just adores her homemade apple pie. And most of all, a lady loves to love.
Jolly nice, Pat. It made good reading. Oh, well, back to the magazine.
Here you are, sir. Here's your coffee. Well, how are you getting on with the film magazine? Have you read Life Stories of the Stars yet? Oh, it's ever so good this week. It tells the true story of Dirk Mills, and it's written by the famous film director Herbert Philpotts. Oh, go on, sir, read it.
No, I don't think I'll bother.
Oh, go on, sir, you must.
Why?
Well, if you don't, this'll be the shortest beyond our ken on record.
Point taken. All right, then. Here we go.
Herbert Philpotts speaking. For 50 years, we in the film industry have been making films. But behind the glittering facade of this celluloid paradise, there lies a tangled web of lust, greed, hatred, violence, revenge, corruption, brutality, and intrigue. To name but a couple. The story I am about to reveal is true. Only the plot, characters, and dialogue have been changed to make it readable. It all started one day at Pine Tree Studios, where I was directing a film called The Son of the Sheik Meets the Daughter of Beau Jest. It was a desert film.
Nothing but sand. Grant, my darling, I just can't go on.
Darling, don't give up. We can carry on, together in the heat of the desert, even without water. We must remember what lies out there ahead for both of us.
It's no good. I must have something to drink.
How about a nice cup of tea?
What's that tea wagon doing in the middle of my desert? I say, you! What's the meaning of this?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Philpotts. It's just that we're in the studio, it's so easy to get into the wrong set. Besides, I didn't like the way that chap was acting.
All right, then let's see if you can do any better. Gloria, take it from your line.
Sand, sand, nothing but sand. Grant, my darling, I just can't go on.
Darling, don't. Give up. We can carry on together in the heat of the desert. Even without water. We must remember what lies out there. Ahead for both of us.
Incredible. You know, you gave those lines a meaning they've never had before. Now then, who are you?
My name is Dirk Millington Hepplethwaite Chumley Snithe.
Good heavens, is that your name? I thought it was a railway station in Wales. Well, of course, we'll have to change that.
Oh, why?
Oh, we can't possibly put that name up in lights. It cost a fortune in light bulbs. No, we must think of something else. Now, where's my publicity agent?
Do you want me, Mr. Philpotts?
Who are you?
I'm Ernie Golightly, your publicity agent.
Golightly? I've never heard of you.
Well, I'm not a very good publicity agent.
No. Well, then why did I hire you?
I'm your father.
Well, look, Dad, it's this chap here. I want to make him a big name. This is Dirk Millington Hepplethwaite Chumley Smythe.
Sounds as if he's a big name already.
We must have something that the public will remember. A name that will be on everyone's lips.
Well, how about Dirk Moustache?
No, why not just abbreviate it? Make it Dirk Mills.
Dirk Mills. Dirk Mills. Where have I heard that name before?
You keep saying it.
So that's where I heard it. Yes, it's a good name. I'm glad I thought of it. Dirk, we are going to build you into a star, and it won't be long before the public will look up on that screen and see so-and-so starring so-and-so with so-and-so, so-and-so and so-and-so.
And I'll be up there, the biggest so-and-so of them all.
Ernie, get busy with the publicity. By tomorrow morning, I want this story on every breakfast table.
All right, I'll make it a serial.
And so in 5 years, he became a star overnight. To women, he was irresistible.
Oh, Dirk, my arms are aching for you. My heart trembles for you. My lips are burning for your hot, passionate kisses.
Oh, stop nagging.
He was riding high. Parties, gambling, champagne, suppers, darts, outings. His life was one mad gay whirl of excitement. But little did he realize that all good flings must come to an end.
Now listen, Dirk. I want to speak to you about your last picture.
What about it?
It is your last picture. I'm tearing up your contract.
You can't tear up my contract. It's cast iron.
Then we'll melt it down.
Look, Mr. Philpotts, Herbert, you just can't forget all those pictures I made for you.
Why not? The public has.
Oh, Herbert, please give me a break. I'm only asking for a chance to make a fresh start.
All right. Just for the sake of old times, be on the lot at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, places everybody for the balcony scene. Take it from your line, Gloria. Action, camera.
Oh, what a breathless night. I have the moon to light my way, the stars to be my friends, the scent of roses to kiss my blushing cheek, What more could I ask for?
How about a nice cup of tea?
Get that tea wagon out of my balcony!
Don't be like that.
Oh, well, that's show business. All you need is a break. And here now are four people ready to break into song. One of these days they're going to find the right key so they won't have to break in. I didn't really mean it. It's the Fraser Hayes Four.
He was just the sort of creature, boys, that nature did intend to walk right through the world, me boys, without a Grecian band. Or did she wear a sheen? Young, I'll have you all to know that I met her in the garden where the praties grow.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And tonight we present a close-up on hospitals. Is the routine too strenuous?
And if so, are our patients exhausted? Well, first of all, let's talk to some typical hospital patients. You, sir, what do you think of hospital life?
Well, I've had several operations during the past 6 months, and they've all been most successful.
Oh, God.
The only aspect I dislike about it are the stitches. But I'm happy to say the hospital have made me a promise.
Oh, what's that?
Well, next time I'm in, they're going to fit me with a zip fastener.
Well, now, let's have a word with this gentleman in the Angora bed jacket. What's the matter with you, sir?
I've got laryngitis.
Oh. Well, shouldn't you be whispering?
Why, it's no secret.
Let's now look at one of the greatest problems with which the hospital patient has to contend. His own vivid imagination, which can and often does lead to a super-sensitive view of his condition. Take the case of one such patient who happened to overhear a conversation between two hospital doctors. Unluckily for him, he could only catch part of the conversation, and this is what he heard.
I don't like the look of it at all.
Oh.
He doesn't stand a chance.
Oh.
Yes. It's serious, all right. In this hospital, it's pretty hopeless. Yes, a thing like that's got to come out sooner or later. No, he'll be gone by the morning.
Well, as it happens, his anxiety was unnecessary, for this was the actual conversation.
What do you think of the new house surgeon?
I don't like the look of him at all.
Well, he's only been here a week and already he's after the night nurse.
He doesn't stand a chance.
Of course he doesn't. He's going around with Dr. Brown while they're engaged.
Yes, it's serious, all right.
Mind you, they're trying to keep it a secret.
In this hospital, it's pretty hopeless.
You really think so?
Yes, a thing like that's got to come out sooner or later.
Well, it's just as well he's leaving the hospital. When is it, next week?
No, he'll be gone by the morning.
In every big hospital, there is, of course, a team of devoted research workers constantly striving to increase the sum of medical knowledge. Let's now take a brief glimpse into one of the most up-to-date and best-equipped research laboratories.
Hello, Rodney. Hello, Charles. How's the experiment coming along?
Not too bad, Rodders. I think I found the secret now. Would you care to help?
I'd love to, Charles.
Right. Hand me the potassium chloride.
Potassium chloride.
Manganate of potash.
Manganate of potash.
Sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid.
Right. Now watch closely, Roddy. We may be on to the brink of something here. I'll just apply the liquid, and yes, I think it's going to work. Oh, bliss! The blue litmus paper's turned red!
Well, it's good to know that medical research is in such capable hands. And where would we be without the specialists, those brilliant men who know more and more about less and less until they know practically everything about almost nothing? I myself had occasion to visit a specialist the other week.
Hello, Mr. Horne. Come in, Wilson.
Thank you. Look, now, I've never consulted you before. Could you give me a rough idea of your charges?
They are very reasonable. For 5 guineas, I'll listen to your heartbeats. For 10 guineas, I'll listen to your chest. And for 15 guineas,
yes,
I'll listen to your radio show.
Well, perhaps the BBC will now understand my heavy expense account. However, it's a well-known fact that people who have experienced an operation never forget it, particularly women.
Roger,
Yes, darling?
would you like to see where I had my operation?
I say, rather.
Then stop the car. That's the hospital over there.
Well, now, one of the things which hospital patients miss most is, of course, the companionship of their loved ones, and it's not surprising, therefore, that they should look forward so eagerly to visiting day. For it is then that you can see many a devoted husband sitting attentively by his wife's bedside.
Ambrose,
Yes, sweetheart.
leave me grapes alone.
Yeah, but I'm hungry. Felicity, what have you got in your locker?
Some of Aunt Edith's homemade cakes.
I'm not that hungry. Well, how are they treating you, old girl?
Very well, Ambrose. I'm enjoying being waited on hand and foot. These 2 weeks have just flown by.
Well, I hope you won't be in much longer. I really missed you, darling. It's not the same without you at home. And by the way, Felicity, I bought this for you.
Oh, Ambrose, how thoughtful of you. What a lovely big parcel. What is it?
Last week's washing up.
Finally, let us consider hospital management. From time to time, there have been criticisms of the routine in certain hospitals. So to carry out a full investigation, our commentator Cecil Snaith entered one of these hospitals posing as a patient.
Well, here I am, propped up in bed in this elegantly furnished private ward, having managed to sneak in unnoticed. It's spotlessly clean, and there's everything here a patient could wish for. Lovely vase of flowers on the table, grapes at my bedside, books, magazines, and, of course, radio. So far, there's absolutely no cause for complaint because the whole place has an air of efficiency and well-being. From here, I can hear the nurses in the corridor chatting. They're all quite happy here. And naturally, I hope to have a word with... Well, here come 2 of the nurses now. They seem to be happy enough. Nurse, do let me share the joke. What is it? Oh. And this is Cecil Snaith from the maternity ward, returning you to the street.
Well, there you are. This is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought. When Shakespeare said, "I'll put a girdle round the earth," wasn't he stretching it a bit? Good night.
You have either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne And also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Patricia Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra conducted by Paul Fennelly. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman and Barry Took. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jake Brown.
So, this is Paris.
I say, Peter, it's exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely ripping. I say, Harry, look, an oil well.
So it is. Let's have a look in the guidebook. Oh, silly us, it's the Eiffel Tower.
Paris, the city of sin. What do we do first?
I wonder if the pubs are open.
Hello, chérie.
Oh, good evening, miss.
Oh, this is my friend Francois.
Hello, you are English, yes?
Fancy you spotting that. By the way, my name's Peter, and this is Harry.
Hello, Harry.
Had much rain lately?
Well, now that we know each other, what shall we do?
You don't play golf, do you?
I am sorry, no.
Look, why don't you two boys join us for the evening?
I am sure you will all get on very well together.
What did I tell you, Harry? Aren't the French hospitable?
Rather. We've only been in Paris an hour and already we've got a 4 for bridge.
That was an excerpt from Innocents Abroad. Another of the books we recommend you to read, especially during the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those who can't read, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are crane operator Susan Fairclough, Ruby Picasso, Long John Chumley and his talking hedgehog, House of Commons hula hoop team, Gordon Crocus, Miss Betty Brocade.
She's a nice bit of stuff.
To continue, Peaches Prendergast, wheel tapper Arthur Tempest Weathervane, and of course Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Beyond Our Ken, the show of which it has been said, and quite rightly too. Well, now, as usual, I've had an eventful week. On Monday, I was crossing Kensington High Street when a car just missed me by inches. Unfortunately, I didn't get his number, but I'd recognize that laugh anywhere. Tuesday, I spent the day at home. I sat in the lounge with my double-barreled blunderbuss and took pot shots at the grandfather clock in the hall. I was just killing time, really. But on Wednesday, I had to go along to the BBC Effects Library to see if they had a sound effect of a cockroach backing into a blancmange. When I arrived, they were all very busy getting a horse to mark time on a wooden plank so that it would sound like 2 coconut shells being knocked together. But eventually they got around to me, but unfortunately, the nearest they could get to a cockroach backing into a blancmange was a caterpillar going forwards into a table jelly. Perhaps you'd like to hear it. Listen. Well, I'm sure no one will be able to tell the difference, will they? However, on Thursday, I was looking around the shops for a mahogany egg timer to use for my mahogany eggs, of course. I ran into a friend of mine, and we stood chatting on the corner of the street when a passing lorry suddenly went, and it made my friend jump out of his skin. Naturally, I asked him why he'd been so frightened, and he said,
"Well, about 6 months ago, a lorry driver ran off with my wife, and every time I hear that sound, I think he's bringing her back."
Which is understandable, I suppose. However, on Friday, I decided to go to a show in town. So that morning, I called in at my local theatre ticket agency.
Hello? Yes, CU World Ticket Agency. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're booked right up for that. Yes, unless, of course, you'd like to take a box. Well, if you stand on it, you might be able to see the show. And you. Oh, good morning, madam.
I'd like 2 seats for the Royal Ballet tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, sold right out.
Oh, well, in that case, give me 2 for the crazy gang.
Very good, madam. There you are. Now, sir, you're next.
Well, I think you're going to a show. What do you suggest?
Here's the theatre guide. Take your pick.
Well, now, let's see. The Flowering Cucumber. No Flies on Granny. Now, The Scarlet Woman of Soho. What's that like?
Very sordid. It's full of nasty characters, all sex and violence and lust. As for the language, well, it's positively disgusting.
I'll have a ticket for that, then.
Well, sorry, it's booked up.
Well, what about Dinner with a Debutante?
Oh, that's a good idea. Beats going to the theatre any time. I remember... Oh, I see what you mean, the play. It's not much good. I could write a better play than that myself.
Have you ever tried?
Yes, I once worked for a whole year on a play.
And what was the result?
All work and no play. Here, have you seen The Reluctant Cuckoo?
No, what's that?
Well, it's a typical English farce. You know the sort of thing, they're all the same.
Oh, sorry, wrong room.
Good heavens, it's my husband under the bed, quick!
Has anybody seen my trousers?
Good evening, Vicar.
Hello, Aunt Ethel.
No, you fool, it's me dressed up as a woman.
Who keeps changing these door numbers around?
A fine honeymoon this has turned out to be.
Hasn't anybody seen my trousers?
Will he be all right, Doctor?
I'm not the doctor, I'm the plumber.
Yes, I see what you mean. Well, we won't bother with that one. Now, what else is there?
Well, excuse me, sir, I just attend to this young lady. We got your tickets, miss.
Oh, thank you.
Good heavens, it's Pat Lancaster. What are you going to see, Pat?
Well, it's an amateur show put on by the Scoutmasters and Guide Mistresses of Tunbridge Wells.
Oh, what are they doing?
Guys and dogs. I just love the music.
Me too. Now, sing something from the show, Pat.
What, right here in this ticket agency?
Right here in this ticket agency. I don't remember that one. I don't think that it goes right here in this ticket agency. Well, that was from Oklahoma, that one, yes. What are you going to sing?
If I Were a Bell.
Well, that's nice, too.
Ask me how do I feel, ask me now that we're cozy and clinging. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd go ding-dong, 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 ding-dong,
Jolly nice, Pat. You know, you can't beat those American musicals.
That's where you're wrong, sir. The longest-running musical in town is British. Salad Days.
Oh, I always thought that was a vegetarian restaurant.
No, don't be like that. It's the biggest success since Chu Chin Chow.
Chu Chin Chow. I always thought that was a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, I suppose you think you can get cheese snacks at the Mousetrap.
Well, can't you?
Oh, Ken, the Mousetrap is a whodunit.
And what's more, it's the longest-running show in town.
So you see, Ken, these are obviously the right ingredients for success in the theatre.
Yes, I see. A whodunit and a musical. I wonder if anybody's ever thought of combining the two.
Ooh, a good idea. I think I'll write one. Hang on. There, what do you think of that?
What's this? The Salad Trap. By Arnold Quill. Arnold Quill, is that you?
No, it's my pen name. Well, go on, read it.
All right, now, here we go. Now, the action takes place at the country residence of the Witherings. As the curtain rises, the stage is filled with a gay throng of weekend guests.
It's quite the thing to spend a weekend with the Witherings
at their spacious and palatial country seat.
It's quite the thing, because the dear old Duke and Duchess
are the nicest sort of people one can meet.
They will never thrust upon you, and of course there's nothing on you, though you never have to call the Duke your Grace.
It's so comfy in the West Wing, but we really think the best thing is there's not a single nudist in the place.
It's quite the thing to spend the weekend with the Witherings
for the thrill of hunting in the early morn.
It's quite the thing to join the dear old Duke and Duchess for a jolly game of croquet on the lawn.
You can have a spot of polo, there's canasta, bridge or solo, or perhaps you'd rather go out shooting game.
The Duke's a splendid fella with a really well-stocked cellar.
And we must say that we're awfully glad we came.
I say, someone shot the Duke.
And in front of the servants, too.
How thoughtless. Duchess, I sympathize with you.
You're very kind, Colonel. More tea?
Yes, thank you.
No, please, everyone, don't let this little incident spoil your enjoyment. Come, you're neglecting the cucumber sandwiches. Hetherington.
Yes, my lady.
We shall need some more milk. And Hetherington.
Yes, my lady.
When you have a moment, phone for the police.
Very good, my lady.
Oh, well, Colonel, shall we continue? Your lead, I believe.
Oh, so it was. Bit of luck his Grace was dummy. I must say, Alice, you're taking this like a brick.
Noblesse oblige, you know. There's no people like type people, those folks out of Gibraltar. Even when your broker says you've lost the lot, then you find the servants that you've gone too hot. Next day on your scutcheon you may find a blot, but there's blue blood in your veins.
I say, let's get on with the game.
Ah, here comes my lovely daughter, Clarissa.
Hello, Mummy. Bad luck about Daddy, isn't it?
Yes, dear. Oh, Clarissa, you've still got your pajamas on.
Yes, Mummy. I've been to a party.
Beg pardon, my lady. The gentlemen from the police have arrived.
Show them in.
This way, gentlemen.
I'm the inspector.
I'm the constable.
In detective work, you've got to use your head.
I say, Inspector.
What is it, Constable?
This man here on the floor. I think he's dead.
I'm the inspector.
I'm the constable.
A ghastly crime has been committed, I would say.
I say, Inspector.
What is it, Constable?
I caught the butler trying to sneak away. Hey.
He caught the butler trying to sneak away.
Hetherington, so it was you.
No, it wasn't, Mummy. It couldn't have been Hetherington. We were together.
What? You and the butler together? I shudder to think of what the butler saw.
Oh, she's fainted. Duchess, speak to me.
Force brandy down my throat.
Is this right, miss?
Yes, it's quite true. Hetherington was with me the whole time.
Yes, we were petting in the pantry.
We were petting in the pantry. It's such fun petting in the pantry.
We were can't beat spooning by the knife board,
Cuddling on the bread tin, kissing in the butler's yeah. Loving in the larder. It's great fun loving in the larder. It's thrilling, gossiping by the gas stove,
simmering by the saucepan,
kissing in the butler's yeah. Climbing those stairs is a merry affair, so why not try it now and then? Petting in the pantry,
loving in the larder,
kissing in the butler's den.
Did you get all that down, Constable?
Yes, I got that, sir. Shall I sing it back to you?
No, that won't be necessary. Now, don't no one attempt to leave. Someone here in this room is a murderer.
But which one?
That's what we've got to find out. Who done it? Who done it? Who was the assassin? Who done it? Who done it? Who done the old bear in?
Who done it? Who done it? Who done the old man in? Who done it? Who done it? We haven't got a clue. Who done it? Who done it? Now, Colonel, was it you?
It's perfectly preposterous. You're talking through your hat. How could you think an officer could do a thing like that?
How could you think an officer could do a thing like that? Who done it? Who done it?
The Duchess is my guess.
Well, madam, what about it?
All right, then, I confess.
Well done, Inspector Pilkington. You've solved another case.
Yes, but what about the motive?
The fool each on my ace.
So now you know who did it and how our story ends. We'd like to ask you just one thing. Please don't tell your friends. So much for crime musicals. Next week, My Fair Hound of the Baskervilles. Meanwhile, here's a premeditated arrangement of Three Blind Mice. And who done it? The Fraser Hayes Four.
Three blind mice, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a thing in your life as three blind mice?
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And tonight we present a close-up on housing. Are today's houses well built?
Or are there too many flaws in them? Well, now, first of all, let's talk to one or two house owners. You, sir, are you happy in your house?
Oh, yes, of course, I reside in a most salubrious district. The house itself is very central. On one side, there's a gasworks. On another side, there's a glue factory. At the back, there's some livery stables. And opposite, there's a fish and chip shop.
That's very unfortunate.
Yes, but in one respect, it's very advantageous.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, we can always tell which way the wind is blowing.
And that's always worth knowing, too, isn't it? Well, now, how about you, sir?
Well, as a matter of fact, I rent a house, and if you ask me, the landlord asked too much for the rent.
Really?
Yes, last week he asked for it 5 times.
I see. Now, madam, are you happy in your house?
Well, the house itself is all right, you see. But the neighbours are frightful. They're forever borrowing things. In fact, if we ever want to spend an evening at home, we go next door.
And now, finally, let's have a word with one of our leading architects. Sir, tell me, what are the principal features of your design?
Well, my houses are all the same. Downstairs, 2 rooms and a kitchen, and upstairs, 2 bedrooms and a box room.
Is that all?
On the BBC, that's all.
Yes, I see. Well, now, let's consider house purchase. Before buying, the purchaser should, of course, be sure that the property is in good condition, and here he can rely on the services of a qualified surveyor, whose expert eye will soon spot something wrong.
Yes, well, now, there's a nasty patch of woodworm here.
Oh, but,
Yes, we can spot these things a mile away. I mean, look for yourself, see all those tiny little holes. That's a sure sign.
But honestly...
Yes, well, it's no good trying to deny it. I shall have to report this to my client.
Look, could I say something?
Well, what is it?
You're looking at the dartboard.
Well, he didn't know the score, did he? However, it's true, of course, that many people prefer to live in a flat, and recently many large blocks of luxury flats have been built where the emphasis has been put on comfort and clever interior design.
I say, Rodney.
Yes, Charles.
What do you think of this one?
Oh, it's positively elegant. I'm just look at the decor. Dreamy, isn't it?
And it's so tastefully furnished. It's genuine Sheraton, you know.
You don't have to tell me. But, Charles, have you noticed the chandelier? It's Louis XIV.
Yes. What an exciting place to live. One can't help falling in love with it.
I know. I could spend hours just looking. It's all so light and airy.
Well, it's the windows, you know.
I've never seen such large windows.
Well, come on. We'd better finish cleaning them.
Righto, pass the lever.
Well, whether it's a flat or a house, castle or cottage, it's home. And at the end of each day, what a joy to return to that haven of peace to be welcomed by a devoted wife.
Hello, darling. Oh, my poor angel. You must be exhausted after your hard day at the office. Oh, come on, come and sit in your favourite chair. Here are your slippers and your pipe. Dinner will be ready in a minute. Oh, here, dear, I've mixed you a special cocktail. Well?
Lummy, I'm in the wrong house.
Now let's turn to the future. All over Britain, new housing projects are being started, and to give you a progress report on one such undertaking, we sent our commentator Cecil Snaith to the new satellite town of Hazelwick.
Well, listeners, I'm standing now in a muddy morass of rubble which one day will become Hazelwick's shopping centre.
What are you talking about? I think you're all in. Everything's got hell of a around there. It's already money. Everybody's got it around here.
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
you're giving him a hold up with your rook, can I?
Oh, quite, yes. Yes. Well, I've just been informed by the Borough Surveyor that this part of the town has already been completed. So I'll move over now to the work being carried out on the main housing site. At the moment, the ground is being prepared by giant bulldozers and those fascinating mechanical excavators which scoop up tons of earth at a time in their massive steel jaws. From here, I can just see into the cabin of this machine where a skilled operator is cleverly maneuvering this gargantuan piece of equipment. With a deft movement, the driver sends the grab swooping down with its jaws open like some monster, ready to devour.
I say a little to your left. No! No!
This is Cecil Snaith on my way to the Hazelwick rubbish dump, returning you to the studio.
Thank you, Cecil Snaith. Sounds as if you're having heaps of fun. Heaps of fun. Well, now, housing has certainly come a long way since the early dwelling places of our ancestors, who, of course, lived in rude mud huts. They're much the same as ordinary mud huts, only with writing on the wall. Yes, it's a far cry from the many elegant mansions which grace our countryside, those famous stately homes which stand in vast acres of pasture and woodland, looked after by loyal retainers.
Locksley.
Yes, ma'am.
This morning I want you to trim the hedges, dig a ditch in the south meadow, feed the pheasants, repair the door on the summer house, and when you've finished, report back to me for some other jobs.
Very good, ma'am.
Oh, and Locksley.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to know how comforting it is for me to have such a dependable man about the place. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Locksley.
See you later, Lady Chatterley.
Well, there you are. This is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought. Does an animal trainer get the lion's share of the money? Good night.
You have either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Patricia Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Variety Orchestra conducted by Paul Fennelly. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman and Barry Took. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jakes Brown.
Oh, this is the last time I pose for a sculptor. Yeah, how much longer are you going to be, Praxilides? My arms are getting tired.
You can rest now. There, finished at last.
Well, Socrates, what do you think?
It's a magnificent, the most beautiful piece of sculpture I've ever seen.
Yes, it's a good likeness, isn't it?
Be quiet, Abib.
What are you going to call it?
I shall call it the Venus de Milo.
Yes, it's a catchy title, but there's one thing you've overlooked. How on earth are you going to get it through the door?
Ah, I never thought of that.
I'm afraid you'll have to chip some of it off.
Oh, dear. After all the work I've put in on her extremities. Oh, I'm loath to do it. So, I suppose it's the only way. Oh, well. Here goes.
That was an excerpt from A Farewell to Arms. Another of the books we recommend you to read especially during the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those who can't read, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are jelly deal magnate Gordon Mylender, Conchita Lolita Pepita Juanita Macmillan, Ben Gunn and his musical cheeses, the House of Lords ice hockey team, Leslie Campdown, Miss Amelia Birdwatcher.
I bet she'd do anything for a lark.
To continue, Fenella Valmouth, Gypsy Rose Featherston Hoare, and of course Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Beyond Our Ken, the only show that dares to bring you Beyond Our Ken. Matter of fact, we received a telegram the other day from the head of Variety, which read...
heard your show. Stop.
Which we all appreciated very much. However, let me, as usual, tell you what I did last week. On Monday, I went to the fun fair at Battersea, spent all my time on the rifle range. I shot 2 glass ashtrays, a plaster Alsatian, and a cuddly teddy bear, for which I won 6 clay pipes. Tuesday I didn't have much on, so I got into the bath. It wasn't a complete waste of time, because I managed to catch up on some of my correspondence with my new pen that writes underwater. Matter of fact, I had a reply to one of my letters this morning, which said, "Dear sir, in reply to your soggy mess of the 15th, I note that you have now gone into liquidation." Wednesday, I decided to get rid of a few items of furniture, and the second-hand dealer turned out to be a rather attractive young lady. Well, we didn't get very far, unfortunately, because, as she said...
I'm sorry, Mr. Horne, but I'm afraid I can't allow anything on the couch.
However, on Thursday, I spent a quiet day at home, working away with my knitting needles and a roll of flex. I'm knitting an electric blanket. Cable stitch, of course. And I just completed a row of 1 pearl, 2 plain, and 3 amps when Prudence swept into the room. Prudence, sweep it out again.
Oh, but sir, I was just going to brush it under the carpet.
Well, you always do, Prudence. This is the only carpet in Kensington with a pile underneath. Do you know I have to walk uphill to the piano? Now, Prudence, answer the doorbell.
But it isn't ringing, sir.
Now, what's your excuse?
Oh, here I go again. The people that call at this house.
Who is it, Prudence?
Well, I don't really know, sir. He looks like a cross between a Canadian Mountie and a Swiss yodeler. He's got flags in his socks, a feather in his hat, and his tie is stuck in a serviette ring.
Madam, I'm a scout.
Well, now are you? Well, you won't find any Indians here.
All right, Prudence, leave this to me. Oh, good gracious, it's a Boy Scout. Come in, sir, won't you?
Thank you, sir. All right, chaps, take the trick cart to HQ. I'll walk back.
I say, don't you blokes usually carry a pole around?
Yes, but you know what it is these days? You can't get the staff. I say, look here, my name's Peter Chisholm. All the chaps call me Cheesy Chisholm.
I'm Scoutmaster of the 7th Kensington Gore Troop.
Oh, jolly good. Come into the lounge.
Oh, I say, sir, what a spiffing log fire. You know, the smell of wood smoke really does something to us chaps.
Really?
Well, there.
What?
Makes us cough. I bet it took a good few matches to get that fire going.
Didn't use one.
Good for you, sir. You rubbed 2 sticks together.
No.
You didn't do it with a magnifying glass in the sun, did you?
No.
Well, then how?
I turned it on. It's an electric fire.
Well, those logs are dash realistic. Still, it's a bit of a cheat, isn't it? I mean, we in scouting like to rough it a bit. It's nothing like the good old simple, down-to-earth, fresh, wholesome sort of life.
Care for a drink?
Dry martini, please. Now, sir, the point is, we'd like you to join our mob.
Me, a scout?
Yes. We think you'd be a great asset to us. We've often spotted you helping old ladies across the street.
Oh.
And young ladies, too.
Oh.
And what's more, sir, we also saw you trying to give 10 shillings to an old tramp on the corner.
That was my bookmaker.
Well, anyway, perhaps you'd like to come down to our scout hut and see us in action.
Oh, I don't mind. Tell me, how do I get there?
Now, this is where the practical side of scouting swings into action. According to my compass, it's nor'-nor'-east. The wind is blowing from the south, the sun sets in the west, we are on 0 degrees longitude, so allowing for a slight margin of error and taking into consideration the distance factor, I'd say that... Yes, I've got it.
Well, where is it?
Next orbit 1.
Ah, this must be it. Excuse me, is this the Boy Scouts?
No, we're the Girl Guides. Oh, good gracious, it's a man. That girl's back. I saw him first.
Well, actually, I was looking for the Scouts.
Oh, that over there, the other side of the barbed wire.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you. I'll just...
No, please don't run along. Oh, come in. We're just about to have a sing-song round the campfire. That's right. Pull up a toadstool. Now, girls, we're going to be entertained by Tawny Owl. Tawny Owl, to-whit-a-woo. To-whit-a-woo.
Oh, I'd recognize that. To-it-to anywhere. Good heavens, it's Pat Lancaster.
Hello, Ken.
So, Pat, you're a girl guide this week, eh?
Yes, I think the writers are trying to get me a good name.
Well, you do your good deed for the day and sing, Pat.
It's a grand night for singing. The stars are bright above. The earth is aglow, and to add to the show, I think I am falling in love. Falling in
Jolly nice, Pat, and thank you, Guide Captain.
Not at all. Oh, do come and see us again.
Yes. Well, goodbye.
To-whit-a-woo!
Now, then, the Scout's hut must be this one. Oh, there's someone peering through the window at me.
Hey, Ginger, look, it's a full moon. I've never seen it this close before. Here, Ginge, has the man in the moon got a carnation in his buttonhole?
What's going on, Gibbley? I say, it's Mr. Horne. Quick, let him in, someone.
Ah, there you are, Chisholm.
Jolly decent of you to look in on us. I say, chaps, this is Kenneth Horne.
Well, yeah, I say, you really Kenneth Horne.
Yes.
Kenneth Horne is on the radio every week.
Yes, that's right.
In that show Beyond Our Ken.
Yes.
Right. Get him, chaps. All right. That's enough. Let him go now.
Oh. You're in luck, sir. They like you. By the way, sir, this is Patrol Leader Jeremy Arbuthnot.
How do you do? I'm a peewit. Say, would you like a glass of wine?
A glass of wine?
Yes, we make it ourselves. It's Chateau Neuf du Puit.
All right, yes, I'll try some.
Good. Faye, getting the grapes out. Start treading. Now, Mr. Horne, would you like white wine or red wine?
Oh, I think red, please.
Right. Paddy, put your red socks on.
Well, Mr. Horne, are you learning about our little tube?
I certainly am. Look, this fellow Arbuthnot, he seems rather advanced.
Oh, yes, well, he hasn't been with us for very long. He's typical of so many of the modern generation, you know, growing up with a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, I thought that was his head.
But actually, there's rather an interesting story about Arbuthnot. You see, only a short time ago, he was a somewhat flashily dressed youth with long, greasy hair, rubbing the pile off his velvet collar.
Mm-hmm.
He was the ringleader of all the Kensington Gaul layabouts. They used to meet in that Welsh coffee bar, the Two Eye Stedfords. Well, you can just picture it all, can't you?
Ah, Tallulah. You are the most.
Oh, thanks, Rocky.
When the music stops, you're real cool. I love the way you just stand there and go, oh, I dig you like crazy.
Rocky, you're so poetic. Even Shakespeare never said things like that.
You haven't been seeing him again.
Of course not. That was ever so long ago.
How about another drink, kid?
No, Rocky, you've had enough.
Who cares? Let's live a little. Taffy, 2 frothy coffees.
2. Righto. 2 frothy coffees coming up. There you are.
Oh, thanks. Well, here's mud in your eye.
Rocky, mind where you're blowing your froth?
Yeah, beard suits you.
Oh, you're a wild one. They'll never tame you.
No, you're right. I've got that devil in me tonight. Let's do something violent.
What?
Let's go down the dancing school in cha-cha during the Velita lesson.
Rocky, have you taken leave of your senses?
You keep out of this, Taffy. I feel strange tonight.
I'm not surprised you're feeling strange. In the last hour, you've had 34 cups of coffee, 15 lemon teas, 3 cheese rolls, 5 tubs of ice cream, and a lobster mayonnaise.
Leave him alone. He's all mixed up inside.
Thanks, kid. I'm proud you're my girl. With your mohair sweater and your long beads, I know I can always count on you.
Rocky, you're not so bad yourself.
Oh.
How handsome you are in your fluorescent jeans, your suede creepers, and your black leather jacket with Alma Cogan stencilled on the back.
Yeah, and I think my dad wants me to join the Scouts. They won't get me into that daft uniform. Oh, Tallulah, why can't I be a great rock and roll singer?
But you could be.
It's no use. I tried. They keep turning me down. It's all 'cause I can't snap me fingers.
Never mind, Rocky. Perhaps the world isn't ready yet for another Elvis Presley.
Personally, I don't think they were ever ready for the first one.
Look out, Rocky. Here comes your father.
I thought I'd find you here, you little perisher. I thought I told you to go to the Scouts meeting.
Oh, I'm not joining no Scouts.
So you still defy me, do you? Well, I didn't want to have to do this to you, son, but you forced me. Tallulah, hand you over, kids.
Yes?
I've got something to tell you about this boy. You all know him as Rocky Steele.
No, Dad, no.
That is not his right name.
Dad, you can't do it.
Oh, yes, I can. Now, listen, everyone.
His real name is Jeremy Arbuthnot.
Oh, naughty dog, naughty dog.
Hey, where's your mother called Jeremy?
Oh, Dane, how could you? Oh, you've disgraced me in front of my mates. I'll never be able to hold up my head again. Well, goodbye to Lula.
Don't you speak to me.
Oh, it was fun well enough. Goodbye, all.
Come along, son. The Scouts is waiting.
So that's the story, eh?
Yes, Mr. Horne, and once he'd had a taste of this life, he completely changed. After reading Scouting for Boys, he wasn't interested in Scouting for Girls.
Well, it's really remarkable.
Yes, just goes to show that we can reform even the most degenerate layabouts.
Well, in that case, I've got some more recruits for you.
Oh, good show. Who?
Well, there's Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Bill Pertwee, Paul Fennelly, James Brown. And from Scouts, we turn to another group who've been out scouting for songs. This week, we've tracked down one called Round Her Neck, She Wore a Golden Locket. So be prepared, it's the Fraser Hayes Four.
Far away, far away, far away, far away. She placed it for her lover who was 6 feet down. Far away, far away, far away, far away. She placed it for her lover who was far, far away.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And tonight we present a close-up on show business. Are there no people like the people in the theatre?
Or are there just no people in the theatre? Well, first let's get one or two opinions from people in show business. You, sir. Now what do you do?
Yes, well, I perform one of the most difficult feats in show business. First, I lock myself inside a glass case, and my assistant fills the case with gas. Then I strike 2 matches.
Yeah. What's so difficult about that?
Striking the second match.
And finally, let's have a word with a film actor.
Good evening.
Good evening. Now, what was your best role?
Well, my favourite part was in the barracks of Wimpole Street. I had a marvellous scene when I had to chase the parlour maid upstairs.
Oh, I don't remember that scene.
Well, the censor cut it out.
Why was that?
I caught her.
Let's now turn to another aspect of show business, the relationship of performer and audience. And naturally, every artist thrives on the warmth and applause of those who he seeks to entertain. How disheartening, then, when the efforts of a gifted company are greeted with indifference.
It's a disgrace,
It's downright disgusting. I've never seen such a terrible display in all my life.
Here, Ambrose, throw some of these.
Oh, rotten tomatoes, what a good idea. Here, take that.
Good shot, Ambrose.
Right on the nose. Give us another one.
Oh, you rotten lot. Take that.
And that. Here, where are those eggs?
They've thrown them all.
Oh.
I've only got the cabbage left.
Oh, that'll do now. Watch this.
Well done, Ambrose.
That'll teach him for being such a rotten audience.
From the serious theatre, we now consider the variety stage, and of the many different kinds of variety acts, one that always fascinates us is the magician. And one of the most mystifying tricks in the magician's bag has always been sawing a woman in half. Now, what's the secret of this illusion? We sent our commentator, Cecil Snaith, to investigate.
Well, listeners, I'm speaking to you from the stage of the Croydon Theatre, having volunteered to assist the great Coldini in his world-famous trick of sawing someone in half. that is his signal for the famous box to be brought on. Well, this is an exciting moment, of course, although I know that in the hands of the great Coldini, nothing can go wrong.
Right, in the box, mate.
Well, that was the great Coldini himself. And now, listeners, I'm getting into the box. It's really quite comfortable, and they're just closing it down. Not the theatre, the box. Now the magician has taken the saw in his hands and is about to begin this amazing illusion. In a few moments, I hope to be telling you exactly how it's done. And this is Cecil Snaith and Cecil Snaith returning you to the studio.
Good old Cecil Snaith, still doing things by halves. Well now, one of the most disturbing features of show business today is the fact that so many variety theatres are being closed down to make way for blocks of offices. We wonder, however, whether the spirit of the theatre still lingers on in these premises. Take, for instance, the case of Hodgkinson and Butler Limited, whose new office was once the Old Empire Theatre. Let's join them at one of their shareholders' meetings.
Hello, shareholders, how do? Well, we're ready with another spot of homely fun from the boardroom. And first, here's a report on the company affairs given to us by the share gazers.
There's no business.
And for a further comment, let's listen now to the sales manager and his assistant.
No sails in the sunset, no sails in the dawn. We're beginning to wish that
plastic fibre substitute and industrial press mouldings
had never been born.
And now the moment you've been waiting for, direct from his unsuccessful tour of the banks. Our chairman, Sir Henry Toby Jug Hodgkinson.
Stop the music, we've heard it before, right? No, I won't take the cigar out of my mouth, I'm not stopping. I was just coming in here today, a fella came up to me, a shareholder he was. He said, I want to know how we stand. I said, I don't know, it's a miracle. That's it, lady, loosen them up. But seriously though, boys and girls, I'm going to ask you out, all join me in singing the comedy song. All together now.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragging and pining, but we travel along, singing our song, side by side.
Well, there you are. This is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought. When a garage attendant goes dancing, does he wear petrol pumps? Good night.
You might have been listening to what have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Patricia Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Variety Orchestra conducted by Paul Federley. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman and Barry Took. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jake Brown.